Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Coin Lady channel. It never ceases to amaze me that XRP has consistently been and still is one of the top 10 cryptocurrencies by market cap, despite the material harm done to XRP investors and the actual adoption of XRP and the XRP as a result of what is happening with the asset, BRICS, the SEC, the attorneys over there coming in from Ripple, harming XRP Invest. Still, that's not without its flaws. Substantial damage has been done, after all. So I thought I'd bring that up, and don't worry, this isn't going to be a totally depressing message. In fact, I find it inspiring that despite that, many have remained as resilient as ever in the face of or in spite of pressure from the SEC and have refused to give in. And we can see progress being made toward our goals. Now, I do believe that the achievements we are making in terms of particular XRP ledger measures would be even more amazing if this had not happened. They're still impressive, though, and I'll get into why in a bit. And it still demonstrates that, despite all the silliness going on for approximately 2.5 years now, adoption has continued largely as a result of the SEC. So, I've included attorney John Deaton's observations here and there. But before we go any further, let it be known that I have no support of any kind, either financially or legally. I am not qualified to give you financial or legal counsel. Nothing I say should be used as a basis for making any financial decisions. Just a hobbyist here that occasionally posts films to YouTube on various crypto-related topics. My greatest cryptocurrency position is XRP because I believe its value will skyrocket relative to its current level in the future. This is just a hunch, of course. Despite the fact that I believe XRP has been injured in terms of adoption, I still think that adoption has been slowed. There is far less movement in price, and hence, much less capital, in XRP than there otherwise would be. Of course, that doesn't imply we can't correct it, so long as the law is made clear. However, attorney John Deaton relayed a tweet from an XRP community member named Edo Farina. I'll just say right now that I agree with Edo Farina's tweet in general. And that makes perfect sense to me. Nothing at all against this individual, and it's absolutely appropriate to point out. In a very private way. I can't say, I'm not familiar with this topic on a personal level. I disagree with what he says regarding XRP because I think he's missing the mark and making no sense, and it appears that this is the case with the vast bulk of what he says in his perspectives. Even though I disagree with some of the conclusions he draws about XRP, he is a strong advocate for it. And you know what? It's totally okay if some folks think I'm incorrect about some of the areas where he is right and they point out where I'm wrong. To be clear, none of this has anything to do with him personally. Simply said, I rarely find myself disagreeing with them. I felt it necessary to bring this up because I believe that attorney John Deaton retweeted this because he is drawing attention to an important subject. To conclude, Edo Farina. In 2020, according to a report by XRP, the Brazilian bank Rendimento will be the first to make blockchain-based payments using only cloud storage. When questioned about their interest in XRP, regulative concerns have led Bank Rendimento to announce that they will not adopt XRP. Despite hundreds of collaborations with financial institutions around the world, the price of XRP remains low. They anticipate regulatory certainty, a major victory for Ripple against the SEC, and the eventual regulation of XRP as the first digital asset. That it is being discussed at this time is also welcome. To be perfectly honest, I don't fully support that viewpoint. For one, I don't think there's much debate about the fact that the crypto asset class as a whole tends to move in tandem with price action for cryptocurrencies. This includes XRP as well. So, what is a Ripple supposed to accomplish? Okay, I guess. Look, I get the argument that cryptocurrencies will be increasingly judged on their own merits or actual real-world adoption utility and that as we enter more of a mature asset class, more of a phase where it's very mature asset class. At the moment, we aren't able to observe that clearly enough. But without a doubt, I concur that those are the things people will be seeking for in the years to come. There is a theory that XRP's price would be higher now if the SEC hadn't clamped down on the cryptocurrency's on-demand liquidity. I'm not quite sure about that myself. We still see the larger moves happen in tandem with the rest of the crypto asset class, which makes it seem more like the price is suppressed because of the SEC. That being said, I do see the point that as the asset class matures and various developers continue to build more and more on top of the XRP ledger, that will result in continued confidence, and I think the fact that there is so much utility and adoption around XRP results in that confidence. The price of XRP is unaffected by Ripple's actions, for better or worse. This doesn't work. In fact, I'll make the case that the SEC has a greater effect on the price of XRP than Ripple has. Okay, XRP's price plummeted once the SEC filed suit. That tremor was the SEC acting in that way. However, regardless of the nature of Ripple's XRP-related business announcements, the markets tend to react positively. So, I'm not really convinced that things would have been any different had the case been brought before the SEC. However, that is not the whole story, and that is why I was also kind of conveying my opinions. The concept of asset class maturity. And when that shift takes place, people are likely to alter their behavior somewhat. I believe that eventually the public will fully recognize the value of XRP. So, yes, life alters you. But he claims that Ripple will soon win a major victory over the SEC, and that XRP will be the first digital asset to be regulated. Actually, that's not entirely true. He's only proposing a few minor concessions at this point. I value the thought. And if you're talking generally, then yeah, I agree with you. The SEC has concluded, however, that it has attacked other cryptocurrencies as well. And now they may rest assured that nothing will change that. And to be more specific, XRP. Once this is implemented, XRP will have more regulatory certainty than any other large-cap coin, at least from the SEC's point of view. But well, maybe we can have some merriment and maybe our luck will change and another government agency will come in and over and sue Ripple again and then we'll be under attack. That'd be one. A little too explosive, I'd say. Blast. I seriously doubt that will occur. But you understand what I'm trying to express. Someone here can view this as a screenshot that was uploaded and shared. Oh. Farina. Someone identifying themselves as X-Man also wrote hello, Bank Rendimento, which was also included in his letter. Will you also make advantage of the XRP mechanism? It was the 18th of June, 2020. This was roughly 6 months before Ripple was sued by the SEC. The bank replied, hello, no, adding that it will be using other services from Ripple in the future, but XRP wouldn't be one of them. To be honest, I've never considered that a drawback since, once you're using Ripple services, and especially once you're using RippleNet in any capacity, it doesn't take much to start making use of on-demand liquidity for settlement. All RippleNet users are prospective on-demand liquidity users, thus you should try to bring them all on board. Wow, that's awesome. That doesn't seem like a bad thing to me. Then Skynet, also known as the Maximum, said, Bank Rendimento. Is it because of rules and regulations or something else entirely? The bank confirmed that this was due to regulatory requirements. Now, consider this. Before the SEC case, it was already doubtful that they would ever set foot in the United States. And they continue to affect the entire world. Many legal systems are criticized for lacking sufficient regulatory clarity. That, however, even if the United States does provide some legislative clarity for XRP and the crypto asset class, that doesn't indicate that every other country would do the same. But, I don't think that will impact in terms of price movement. Not at all, honest. The United States in particular has everyone's attention as it relates to XRP. Even if the vast majority of XRP trading takes place in markets outside of the US, it's still these folks driving the majority of the price movement. That's why, If you haven't considered it before, it sounds ridiculous. You probably all know that when the price of XRP dropped in response to the SEC's charges, it was due to the extremely high amount of transactions taking place around the world. However, nearly none of that total amount was generated within the USA. Yes, the price fell, and it was due to negative price action in the United States, but what I'm saying is that 90% to 95% of the total price action for XRP was generated from investors located outside of the US. That leaves foreigners as the ones who reacted with extreme fear. And it just becomes one of those things that ends up coming true on its own. This is how the story ends. And the consequences have been disastrous. Now, attorney John Dean retweeted that, writing that some have claimed that he is mistaken to say that Ripple and XRP have been damaged greatly by the litigation. People point to Ripple's expansion beyond the US, yet the US market is crucial. Even on its own liquidity hub platform, Ripple isn't making XRP available. I've already gone on and on about that, so I'm not going to repeat myself in this video. It's a fact though. Ripple was also mentioned. Another thing I'll mention is that even Ripple is waiting for this litigation to be opened up over rather because of regulatory uncertainty. Given their ongoing legal battle with the SEC, I suppose I can't blame them for making the offer. After all, it will just serve to clog things up from here on out. Just as I don't hold cryptocurrency exchanges responsible for delisting XRP, I also don't hold Coinbase responsible for its own posturing, although I do wonder how serious that posturing really is. Do you find it dishonest? Coinbase is a fantastic platform when it is functioning well, but there are times when you just have to ask a few questions and deal with a few issues. However, their method for distributing Flare tokens was extremely time-consuming, taking even longer than the airdrop itself. And then they just abandoned XRP like it didn't even matter. That makes sense, and I'm not even upset about it. However, the frustration persists. I mean, I can't say that I blame them for feeling like weed. Better do this to be safe. Be on the lookout, we need to protect ourselves. It's still annoying that they're not following the lead of the majority of the other cryptocurrencies. All other cryptocurrencies are considered securities by the SEC at this time. Not a single coin has been removed from Coinbase. Therefore, for the remaining exchanges, and there is only one in the US based in the US, or with a substantial presence, the presence in the US, I guess, actually, I think they might be headquartered cover. Uphold is the only one I can think of off the top of my head. However, they do have a sizable presence in the United States. True, there is also GateHub, and it is somewhat true, but Uphold. The level of dedication they have shown to XRP and the XRP community is unprecedented. They're not a partner, and they haven't compensated me to say anything positive about them. I've been a satisfied client for the past 5 years. And they just got here, and already from a business standpoint they're seeing results. Because of the sheer size of the American market, obviously. Many would-be XRP buyers just decided against making a purchase. But if they really needed XRP, then that's what they got. I mean, a sizable portion of it did. Now you know why Uphold didn't halt XRP trading in the US once that headline appeared in the CryptoBasic DT. One of the best choices in the history of cryptocurrency, according to Deaton, is Uphold's decision not to discontinue trading of XRP. And I'll say this, too, even though I'm not actually don't blame any of the exchanges that delisted XRP because of this nonsense situation, they found it because the SEC, I still think that we should extra applaud any exchange that has continued to support XRP, because doing so requires an extra level of bravery and certainty in your legal position. Having that much faith in anything is not going to be careless from a legal standpoint. Almost 2.5 years ago, I overheard the CEO discussing this very issue. And he replied, "Look, we talked to our lawyers about this, and none of them think any of this is rational. And we will continue to insist on our position." I'm putting it in paraphrase, but that was the general idea. That's something to cheer about. That's why I believe there's such momentum behind the XRP's further growth and development. The current community is asked to continue. John Deaton, creator of the field of crypto law, has recently commented on the crypto exchange Uphold's decision to not halt trading of XRP, despite the SEC's claim that the coin is a security. Deaton, an attorney, tweeted today that the SEC's decision not to ban XRP trading due to conflicted and compromised employees is one of the best in crypto history. The decision to not halt trading in XRP in 2018 after a lawsuit was filed by compromised, conflicted regulators whose motives were questioned by one of the most esteemed SEC regulators of all time, and B. Grundfest will be remembered as one of the best in the history of cryptocurrency. Quote ends. In response to news that a US-based cryptocurrency exchange had launched an institutional business and trading platform, pro-XRP lawyer Deaton said, "Damn straight attorney Deaton, well said, the name I probably butchered in my bed. Uphold ahead of research." They have been very adamant about sticking with XRP and the XRP community. And now it's being implemented across the board in official capacities. What do you anticipate could occur? Should this be a good thing for XRP now that its legal status has been established? We're all hoping for a favorable ruling from the court, and if it comes down the way I think it will, Uphold deserves all the credit that comes their way. That's the truth. While this may seem like negative news, the fact that XRP and the XRP ledger continue to gain in popularity in spite of it is very remarkable. It's no secret that many people thought XRP's market size would have dropped out of the top 10 by now, but I'm convinced that price action has kept it from doing so. Nonetheless, there are landmarks that have been achieved. I mentioned the closing of the XRP ledger and its 80 million coins a few days ago. This process took around 10.5 years. That's a great landmark in any case. It has been going strong for nearly a decade now. It keeps going on regardless of the opinions of the remaining SEC petty tyrants. And then there was this from Thomas Silker a few days ago. With the XRP ledger now over 5 million accounts, he ran the following statistics and tweeted them out. Yes, you heard me. More than 5 million XRP wallets have been generated since its launch. However, he adds that there are currently just 4.7 million people in the world. However, as of the time the statistics were compiled, 5 million people had been active overnight. Since XRP was the only top 10 crypto to not set a new all-time high during that 2021 bull run, there is no need to speculate as to how many more times that number would go above 5 million if the SEC hadn't suppressed the price of XRP. The bull run, that is. Since XRP is unique and is currently being targeted by the SEC, its price declined from its previous high of $2 to its current low of $1. It was entertaining, and the $2 certainly helped. It's not the same as breaking a record high price when it comes to joining the market. How many extra registrations would have resulted? Would there be 1 million or 3 million more of us? Is it because there are so many more people involved in the crypto world now? For the sake of contrast, let me give you this. What happened before XRP's record-breaking bull run? In other words, there were just under 700,000 accounts established by the middle of December 2017. Once more, in December of 2017, there were just 700,000 people, and now there are over 5 million. 2.5 weeks later, when the price action had concluded, new accounts continued to be made afterward, at least in the upward direction. However, throughout that time period, around 300,000 new accounts were created, and yet, far fewer individuals were paying attention to crypto at the time. Still, in just over 2 weeks, we were able to sign up hundreds of thousands of users. Even while the percent gains for in terms of off-season weren't as great, there were more people coming in and more funds going into crypto in 2021, which makes you wonder. We have seen how many more accounts? How many millions of users would we have by now? If this XRP had been widely adopted, I believe it would have already reached a new record high and many more people would be using it. I think that to be true. That, undoubtedly, would have attracted significantly greater notice. That's why I mentioned that despite everything, it's wonderful that this video isn't just a bunch of depressing snark. Today, developer activity is higher than it was a year ago, and we've closed 80 million mails and created over 5.5 million accounts. You still won't be able to stop XRP anytime soon. The wrong side of history is where you currently stand. And I believe that, given enough time, will be demonstrated. So, sure, I do think it's important to recognize some of the negative parts of what's happening. Still, I find this to be an encouraging message, so that's why I'm looking forward to it. I will be present. Furthermore, I anticipate the remainder of 2023 to be really interesting for XRP holders. You do realize that I am not a financial counselor and that you should not base any investment decisions on what I say, correct? Please like and subscribe my channel. See you later, bye.